Are you tired of those pesky skeletons in your closet? Exhausted by the eternal screaming of the damned? Are your eyes fatigued by looking at the black, hey, you can't say that, terrain? Well, today, my friend, we take the public transportation to our new home of Transylvania. We play as Van Helsing's younger, sexier, and slightly more Asian brother, Wang Hella Swing. Bricked up skeletons and blue taffy-nippled werewolves await us in the Vale. Welcome to Undertaker. We start off in a tavern, deep within the heart of Transylvania. Walking through, we come to the bounty board. Here, we find that there's a bounty posted for monsters. Perfect. Now we have a coincidental outlet to kill humanoids. The excuse we're using is a small loophole branding any disfigured mutants as monsters. Is there a chance for their redemption and eventual salvation? Of course there is. Do I care? Not even a little bit. So we get to work on our arsenal. We start out with the basics. A rusty sickle, which doesn't do much damage, but it'll do more than our fists. And with this, we get divine direction to reap a victim that is unsuspecting. Now, to be clear, that is reap with an E in the middle of the word. Thank you. After getting a handle on our primary weapon, we come to meet our next companion, a firebomb. And we use it on a group of bros just hanging out.
Ooh.
One of the ranged units gave me an idea of my own, though. I would adopt his doctrine and get a ranged weapon of my own. Some good old American freedom. And we get it just in time to meet the next ranged mob, an executioner. Hey pal, would you like to see an unregistered battle axe? Well, I thought it was for melee.
Turn around, pretty lady!
But apparently not. So we return the favor, and we grab the portcullis key.
Let me in.
Past which we meet the Plague Doctor, the one who originally put out the bounty, and his name is Borvin. We peruse Borvin's shop inventory, but I quickly came to realize that I'm much too poor to afford anything, and here I thought I could escape my normal problems by playing a video game. So we set out, broke and homeless, and we pick up a nail on the side of the road. Now, this nail isn't for heating drug pipes, necessarily, but apparently it's a pennant that ups your physical resistance at the cost of bleeding frequency. Next, we stumble across an old cup. This gives us more physical resist at the cost of stamina regen. Now, we have a rusty sickle and physical resist up to 55%. Next, we find some silver on the floor, along with some sellables and some old bread for HP. We move up the hill a little bit and encounter a Wendigo that's posing as Baba Yaga or something. And after dispatching the old grandma impersonator, we find loot that is part of a bigger equation. So I hold on to it. But my insatiable greed didn't stop there. We took on a fight. More and more enemies piled in, and eventually, I just wasn't enough. The tidal wave of bones and dead skin completely overran me, and I died. Back at the Plague Doctor's, we discovered that we didn't actually lose any of our inventory, which honestly is pretty nice. And while we're back there, we look through his shop inventory and see what we can afford. Not much, so we settle for some ammo. And this is when I realized that each bullet is 10 silver.
Oh, it's one shot for 10. Oh my god, okay.
Thanks for the inflation, Borvin. Now go fuck yourself. I return to the Vale to butcher an old man in the alleyway as some sort of deranged vengeance. But I'm cosmically rewarded for my violent tendencies, and I find a goat head with a little message on the side. In a similar fashion to the other artifact, it wants to be bound with one more item at an altar. A bloody jewel, in fact. We keep our eyes peeled for a red gemstone, and we move on. And a little bit further down the path, we stumble upon dudes 5 feet apart. And the way they just chill and hang out really pisses me off. And what do you know, everything is coming up bail. We are further rewarded for our violent behavior, and the universe coughed up an eagle ring. This will highlight loot around me, so I can greedily snatch up everything around me without once thinking about the others. Up ahead, we see how truly intelligent the werewolves are. This stupid dumbass can't figure out a corner. And since you're a mutt, you're not the goodest boy, you're the dumbest bitch. Nobody else could possibly embarrass themselves this much over a corner. Eventually, we find a skeleton head with more instructions. Still having the crown we found earlier, we head back to the ritual site. Along the way, we find a rat box at the top of a tower, and we find a note from a disgruntled citizen about a local perpetrator whose MO was aerial loaves of bread. But we make it to the ritual site. We stick the crown and the skull in it. And out comes the crowned skull artifact, which slows enemies and does more damage to them when they're under half health. Equipping that, we move to the side of the altar, where we open up a grate. This leads us to a werewolf that we disembowel, and further in the cave, there's a tiny little spider.
Fireball!
And just past another werewolf, we find Borvin's runestone. And after coming back and turning it in, we upgrade our main weapon to a Damascus dagger. This will dramatically increase our stealth damage at the cost of damage in a head-on fight. We buy a spellbook for some range damage, and together these two items help us find yet another piece of equipment, the Wind Catcher, which gives us 20% more movement speed, a big deal. Now that we're Octane from Apex,
they say death catches up to everyone. He can certainly try.
We can speed around the map, stabbing everything that doesn't hear us first. After exploring around for a bit, we come up into some rafters somewhere and find an anchor, which is kind of strange way up here, but more importantly, we find the bloody gemstone for the ritual, the ruby. With this in the goat head, now all we need again is the ritual site. After some more exploration, because I kind of forgot where the ritual site was, even though we saw it earlier, we come across a strength potion. This really tops off our inventory, which is just in time because we find a grate that goes deeper into a dungeon. And past that, there's a second grate that gives you a warning. So we head back looking for the goat ritual, which we manage to find. We throw in the goat head and the ruby, and this pops out an artifact that gives us the ability to cheat death once, which is pretty good. So we head back to consolidate our equipment one last time. Oh, what was that, Borvin? Did you have something to say?
Thanks for the runestone. Here's inspiration for your fight.
With that bardic inspiration, everything is now in line, and we head off to face the boss, the Fallen King. Which was a little bit too edgelord, and I died of cringe. And it wasn't because he absolutely beat my ass. Luckily though, when I died, it gave me back all of the explosives and health potions that I had used in the fight. So we get another shot, but this time we come a little bit more prepared. We grab a stick of dynamite, and we load it into our hotbar with his other suppositories. Thankfully though, there was enough boom to blow his balls out. And turn his old brittle bones to dust. Roll credits! Well, only in Transylvania will you find bricked up skeletons and blue taffy nibbled werewolves. Thank God we have Wang Hella swinging to protect us from the things that go bump in the night. If you liked what you saw, then the demo's on Steam. But anyways, thanks for hanging out, thanks for watching, and like always, I'll see you next time. Peace.
Fireball!